But you mentioned the same thing in your interview. I didn't think that that was a movie I was going to love.
Yeah.
And I loved it, and I think you're right, she should get the Oscar dress ready. I think her acting was outstanding in a team of people who were great actors. That tells a story that I think a lot of people don't actually fully understand, and it's quite universal, too, isn't it?
It really is, and that's why, you know, Allie and I were talking during the break because that's what we do. We talk, and when we mentioned The Help, I thought the reason why I wanted you to comment on it because I think so many people were like you and me, and even Viola, I ain't watching that movie. That's not going to be that good. So I thought it was interesting to get another perspective. But let's talk about why you're here. Yesterday, my BlackBerry started blowing up. It was described as the single worst day on Wall Street since 2008. And I think for a lot of people, they start shaking, they start panicking. I even emailed my guy early this morning who handles my finances. Do I have any money left? Am I going to be all right? Should I be scared? Because what we don't want is for people to start panicking.
Right. Panic is never good. Let me give you a little perspective on this. It was the worst point drop on the Dow since the worst of the financial crisis, another time when you and I used to speak a fair amount 3 years ago. But the thing that matters to your portfolio is, as a percentage, how much would it have dropped if you have things like the S&P 500 or the Dow in your portfolio. The percentage drop yesterday was the 116th largest percentage drop. Not in the top 10, not even in the top 100. So while you see that number on that Dow screen, the dropping 512 points, and it's panicky, and you know we in the news business have to tell you what's going on, the reality is it wasn't actually as big a deal as we thought it was. Now,
that's why I wanted to talk to you.
Here. You want your money to be increasing in value, not decreasing. So that's not good, but it's not worth panic.
Yeah, and that's why I wanted to talk to you to put it all in perspective, because I know the number sounds bad, but when you look at the bigger picture, it is not the worst thing that has happened to us. But I am curious about how this happened and how it happened so quickly. You have any idea about what caused it?
Well, first of all, as you and I have been talking over the last couple of weeks, there have been a few things happening that have been weighing on investors and markets, right? We started with this business in Greece of a potential default and fighting in the streets, and then we had our own debt problems here in the United States, and over the course of the last week, we've had some economic numbers that you know, make you doubt whether or not we're really growing out of this recession that we left behind us. And then what happened is yesterday, Italy became really a focal point of attention. Italy is the 8th largest economy in the world. It owes a lot of money, and it's really got some debt problems. So the European equivalent of the Federal Reserve, the European Central Bank, decided to take some action to help Italy, and basically that triggered a panic amongst investors to say, wow, if the central bank's getting involved, this must be pretty serious. I mean, I'm highly oversimplifying to make the case, but that's what got investors all triggered, and we're all one market now. So if investors in Europe are spooked, it works into our markets, and then it started in Asian markets again today. That's the problem. It is the equivalent, the global equivalent, GAYLE, of the world taking their money and sticking it in their mattresses. That's what happened yesterday.
That's really good. The global equivalent of that. All I could think of was, I'm so glad that the debt crisis has been resolved before this. Because a lot of people are already saying, you know, it's because of the debt, it's because of the debt. And really, there is so much more to the story than that. So what are your hopes for a rapid recovery, Allie, before you leave us? What are your hopes?
Well, first of all, when you put your money in the mattress, you shouldn't keep it there. So I think the world is looking at this and saying, you know, normally when stock markets go down, you see an increase in oil prices or gold prices or something like that. Yesterday, you didn't see any of that. People just took their money out and kept it in cash or something like cash. At some point, they're going to realize that McDonald's and General Electric and Coca-Cola are not worth 3 or 4% less today than they were yesterday. They're still good companies making a lot of money, and people will start to reinvest in your portfolio. Should see itself come back again. But the bottom line is we are uncertain as to where this world is going. Uncertain's okay, GAYLE. We like our lives to be certain, but the market is the part that's uncertain about it, right? When you gamble, you like to get dressed and go to a casino to do it. You don't like that happening in the market. I would say sit still. Don't worry too much about it. Sit on your hands. For those people who are ready to sell their stocks, remember, if you sell into a market that's going down, you have to be right twice. You have to be right that you sold at the right time going down, and you have to be right when you get back in. That's smarter than most people, including me, are.
Yes. Oh, always good advice from you, Allie Belshie. Thank you. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
I'll see you next time. You heard what he just said, favorite listeners, favorite viewers. He said, sit still. That's what I'm going to do, sit still. Except this morning I started the day with half a Magnolia cupcake, thank you, Dan, and 3, 4 Dunkin' Donuts Munchkins. Yes, hello, my name is Gayle, and I'm going to hell. What is the number one thing that men want in bed? What do you think it is? I'll bet you got some.